Today, we will learn how to make a knitted shoe out of fabric, leaves or corn, plastic water bottles, a needle and thread. If you have access to yarn, go ahead and use that to make your shoes. If you don't have yarn, we will now learn how to cut yarn. Lay the piece of fabric you want to work with out on the floor. Start at a corner and start cutting along the sides as shown. When you get to a corner, simply round the corner and follow the spiral pattern you are cutting. Now we will demonstrate how to knit. We need to start knitting by making a knot on our needle. To do this, follow the steps shown in the video and tighten the knot. To get the other stitches started on the needle, pull the yarn away from the needle with your thumb. Then loop the needle around the yarn as shown in the video. Then tighten. Do this repeatedly. For an adult shoe, 10 loops on the needle is accurate. The smaller the child, the fewer stitches needed. Hold the needle with the yarn attached in your left hand. To start making the first stitch, take the right hand needle and stick it in the rightmost loop of the left needle. The right needle will enter from left to right and will move from the front of the stitch to the back. See the video. Then take the tail of the yarn connected to the ball of the yarn and wrap it from back to front and left to right around the tip of the right needle. Use the right needle to pull the wrapped yarn back through the loop the needle was stuck in. This will transfer the stitch to the right hand needle. Repeat this process for all stitches on the left needle, transferring all of them to the right. Once all of the stitches have been transferred to the right needle, take the right needle into your left hand. Begin again by making stitches using the same process we described and showed earlier. Wrap the knitted piece around the foot the shoe is being made for. If the piece is too short, continue knitting until the piece fits around the foot. Once the piece is long enough, start by knitting 2 stitched to the right needle when you begin a new row. Then take the left needle and insert it into the stitch loop of the rightmost stitch on the right needle. Drag the stitch over the first stitch on the right needle. You have now closed off one of the stitches for your shoe. Now knit another stitch in normal style over from the left to the right needle. Repeat the process described to drag the rightmost stitch over to the other stitch on the right needle. Continue this until there is only one stitch remaining on the right needle. Take the ball of yarn and cut it about 1.5 meters from where the last stitch is on the needle, and thread this yarn through the last stitch on the right needle once the needle is removed. Now, begin to lace the back of your shoe by connecting the 2 widths of the knitted piece together. Take the tail of the yarn and lace it through the other end of the knitted piece, tightening and creating a bond between the 2 ends of the fabric. Now, take the end and go back through the other side of the knitted piece, creating another connection between the 2 ends of the knitted piece. Once there is a complete bond between the 2 widths of the knitted piece, we now begin connecting the walls of the shoe base